Hello there. Today I'd like to talk about the upcoming solar eclipse, which is occurring on the 1st of September 2016 in the sign of Virgo. Now this eclipse will be occurring at 7:03 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time and 2:03 a.m. in Los Angeles, 5:03 a.m. in New York and 10:03 a.m. in London, so depending on the time zone where you live. Okay, so new moons, always a chance for a new beginning. The sun and moon will be conjuncting, coming together at 9 degrees and 21 minutes of the sign of Virgo. And solar eclipses, we have 2 of them a year. The last one was in March. We won't have another one till February next year. And they're an intensified new moon. So the moon temporarily blocks out the light of the sun. So the moon, as it satellites around the earth, it will fall between the earth and the sun and temporarily blocking the sun's light. So the sun represents consciousness, the moon the unconscious. So when there's that interruption to the consciousness, anything that's lying dormant in the unconscious has a chance to come up and be expressed. And eclipses are called wildcards because if you ask an astrologer, well, what's going to happen to me regarding this eclipse? Well, you can say, well, it depends on anything that's down there that's repressed that may need to come up. If there's nothing there, then nothing will happen. So it just depends on the person and what's going on for them. So yes, they are wildcards and they can be in effect for 6 months after they occur and a couple of months leading up to them as well. Okay, so in the sign of Virgo, this is the sign of the zodiac that rules health, diet, exercise, our daily routines. So it also rules our day-to-day work routines, being efficient, having things in order, and paying attention to the details. They're very analytical. People born with the sun in Virgo tend to be very analytical and discerning or discriminating in the way they think. And because it rules the 6th house in the zodiac, also small animals, because they're part of our daily routine as well. So you might want to make an affirmation on the day of the eclipse around any of these areas if you're wanting to start a new diet or exercise routine or start a new work habit or new job. Okay, now the ruler of this eclipse is Mercury. Mercury rules Virgo. It also co-rules Gemini. And it's retrograde at the moment, or at the time of the eclipse. So that's about reviewing, retrograde, going back over old ground. So reviewing our communications, going over things we've written, maybe looking at contracts a bit more closely. And Mercury, the planet ruling Virgo in the sign of details, is with Jupiter, and Jupiter likes to do things in a big way. So he's all about growth, expansion, opportunity. So you might be thinking or reviewing your big plans, what you're interested in for your future visions. So just going over that. And on about the 10th of September, Jupiter will leave Virgo. He'll be at 28 degrees at the time of the eclipse. He'll leave Virgo to move into the sign of Libra, the sign of partnerships and relationships, for a 12-month or so stay. So I'll be doing another video on Jupiter in Libra. Okay, at the time of the eclipse we'll have Venus in Libra. She's in dignity. She likes being in the sign of Libra. So can be a time to enjoy relating to our partners or doing things that we enjoy with other people. There is a frustrating or tense aspect occurring at the time of this eclipse. So we have what's an aspect pattern called a T-square, and that's where there's an opposition in the chart. So the Sun and the Moon here at 9 degrees 21 Virgo opposes Neptune at 10 degrees of Pisces. So Virgo being all about order, Neptune is really more about chaos and no boundaries. So being mindful of being prone to confusion, deceptions, illusions, delusions around that time. So make sure what you're dealing with is real. And they both square Saturn. Now this Saturn-Neptune square has been going on since about November last year, and it reaches its final square of 3 on the 10th of September. So Saturn's moving towards that square, and a square is always tension and frustration, it's friction. And Saturn is all about structure, walls, reality, limits, boundaries, which is quite different to what Neptune represents, which is all about no structure, no walls and no boundaries, because the sea can't be bounded. Neptune rules the sea. So we have this tense standoff. It's about, what's real and what's not real, paying attention to our dreams, what we're willing to do in a real practical way to reach our dreams without being deluded or them just being fantasies. Okay, and the people who will be most affected by this solar eclipse are people with personal planets around 9 degrees, especially the Sun of our mutable signs, which are obviously Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces and Gemini as well. So you can look up your birth chart on astro.com, or you can always email me. I have a website, theleftandraightbrain.com.au, and I do Skype readings, and I also read at a shop on Wednesdays and Thursdays called Mystic Hippie Gifts and Healing. So I'll see you next time, and thank you for listening and for watching. Goodbye.